Okay, today we will learn what is a private IP address. What is a private IP address? Private IP address. Okay, so let's see what is a private IP address. A private IP address is assigned to a device within a closed network. Okay, remember this point. We assigned private IP address to a device within a closed network. Okay, remember this point, closed network. Okay, and is not readily available to search for on the internet. Okay, this is not readily available. Okay, you can't read this IP on internet. Okay, this is basically hidden, you can say. This is not readily available, not readily available on internet. Okay, on internet. To facilitate the distribution of IP addresses within networks and organizations, private addresses were created. It is easier to understand a private IP address by explaining an actual scenario. Okay, let's imagine that we have a home. Okay, suppose we have a home network. Okay, home network. You have a desktop, there may be a desktop. Okay, you have a desktop computer, a laptop, maybe there a laptop. Okay, there may be a laptop, a smartphone. Suppose you have a smartphone, and a tablet. Okay, and a tablet. These devices all connect to internet. Okay, these all devices connect to the internet through a central router. Suppose central router is CR. Suppose this is central router CR. So all these devices, okay, this one is connected, this one, and this one. Okay, if you want to connect to the internet, okay, then you can use a central router. Instead of each device on your network being allocated with a public IP address, the only public IP address you will use is assigned to the router. Okay, I'm repeating, instead of each device on your network being allocated with a public IP address. Okay, public IP address, the only public IP address you will use is assigned to the router. Only router has the public IP, PIP, okay, public IP. A router will assign a public IP address but will then assign a private address using DHCP, okay, dynamic host configuration protocol, to each device on your network. Okay, means router will be assigned a public IP address but will then assign a private address using DHCP protocol to each device on your network. Okay, means your public or central router will provide private IP, okay, private IP to your desktop computer, to your laptop, to your tablet, to your mobile phone, okay, by using DHCP protocol. Okay, the device on your network will communicate with each other using their private IP addresses, and the router will use its public IP address to facilitate communication over the internet. Okay, the devices on your network will communicate with each other using their private IP address, and the router will use its public IP address to facilitate communication over the internet. When connecting to the internet, your private IP address will remain hidden. Your private public address will remain hidden. Okay, will remain hidden. And only the router public IP address is visible. Okay, router, or you can say central router IP is visible. Okay, will be visible. Now let's see what are the reserved IPs for private networks. Okay, so basically private address space specified in RFC 1918, RFC 1918, okay, is defined by three address blocks, first, second and third. Okay, three address block, that is 192.168.0.0 192.168.255. Okay, 192.168.255. Okay, so second is 172.16.0.0 2, 172.31.255. Okay. Now next is last one is 10.0.0.0. Okay. To 10.255 to 55 to 55 to 55. Okay. Dot to 55 to 255. These are the three blocks, address blocks, that are defined by the RFC in 1918. Okay. The IP address block, that is start from 192.168.0.0 or /16. Okay. Suppose like this, 192.168.0.0/16. Okay. Private network can be interpreted either a block of 256 class C. Okay, this is a type of class C. 256 class C network IDs. 256 class C. Okay, network IDs, or you can see 16. Okay, this one, this part, 16 host bits, that is assignable. Okay, that can be used for any subnetting scheme, within the private organization. Okay, and the 192.168.0.0/16 private network allows the range of valid IP address, that is 192.168.0.12, 192.168.255.254. Okay, this is the range of valid IP addresses. Okay, next address block is 172.16.0.0/12. Okay, means that private network can be interpreted either a block as a block of 16 class B, block of 16 class B network IDs, or as a 20-bit assignable address space, means 20 bits host bits, you can say, that can be used for any subnetting scheme within the private organization. The range of valid IP addresses is 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.254. Okay, next is 10.0.0.0/8 private network is a class, this is a class A type IP address or network ID that allows the range valid IP address range 10.0.0.0.1, okay, .1 to 10.255.255.54 to 54, okay. This is the valid IP addresses range that allows the 24 bits host bit, okay, 24 host bits that can be used for any subnetting scheme within the private organization, okay. So thanks for watching.